Howdy folks, welcome back to Out of War. My sound's been a little goofy, so hopefully the sound is okay in this video. But, things are going well, and I got a lot to catch you up on. Whee! As you can see, I got a new wheel loader here. And this thing is awesome. You can really overload the bucket, and it's pretty stable. So I've been moving a lot of material, and you can see we're up to about 162 grand. And I've also been deep underground. I'm going to show you some holes I've dug and some things I've learned since the last episode. So I did some research, I watched some videos, I searched the Discord. And on these newer maps, I think Scandinavia, which is this map, and maybe the Iron Mountain map, the ore is a little different. Basically, it can be in layers. So I went and did some exploring, and I'll show you the holes. You can see there's cribbing there, cribbing there. I've got a couple holes to show you. And yeah, I found stuff in each one of them. There's different stuff. Get just a little more material in here, and I'm going to go turn the power on. Also curious to see the sun's going down. Will the solar panels work at night? I kind of think they're going to work at night, which is goofy, but let's show the access. I was kind of curious. Let's get one more scoop. So this thing is the Arvik L10. And it's a beast. It's got a lot of power. Like I said, you can overload the bucket pretty good. You can get a full scoop that time. This thing is working well. I just pressure washed it too. Bought the pressure washer for $48. Keep your vehicles nice and clean. A little early there. Alright, let's hop out. We'll take a look. What we got going on over here. Put that on so I can start running. Been processing things. Looks like the rubies are done. Rubies are done. Gold is done. We're getting a bunch of material. Been kind of selling off as we go. So I'm going to go here to sell. And the quick-eyed among you may have spotted something in the old inventory. But, let's go to first person. That works better when we're going underground. But so I decided to dig down because what I had heard is the ore is in layers. And the stuff, other than coal, you kind of find at the boundary. So I said, okay, well, let's dig down. As you can see, the coal right here is not very deep. It's just kind of a surface layer. I thought, well, okay, we'll just keep digging and see what we end up with. And so I dug, and I dug, and I dug, and I kept digging, and I kept digging, and I finally. I got down to what is blasted rock. And I don't know why it's blasted, because I didn't do any blasting down here, but that's just the way it works, I guess. So I do have blasted rock, which we can turn into, I think, crushed stone and then into gravel. It costs about 100 grand to get the 2 pieces of equipment to do that. But we can actually make our own cement now, so I'm going to, or concrete. So I'm going to, oh, hey, how's it going out there? I'm going to be working on that. Also, I'm going to turn on my light. We've got a little mining lantern. So I can come down here and I can get rock, I guess, by hand. Unfortunately, the good stuff, as it were, is deep underground. But I have an elevator, so we can just transport back up to the surface. But okay, all right. So that coal was pretty shallow, and I had started digging over here and processing this stuff. So I thought, okay, well, let's see how deep is this coal seam. And this coal seam is a lot deeper. So I dug down, just kept digging. Okay, well, let's just see how far this goes, and kept digging and digging and digging, and the coal just kept going. Kept digging and digging and digging and digging some more. I was kind of following this, and it kind of started going that way, so I thought I was probably near the bottom of the coal seam, and sure enough, see what we got here. ourselves some iron ore. I worked up some of that, and then there's just a little bit of copper too at like the interface. Seems like it's at the interface with the coal and the iron. So the good news is I found iron. The bad news is it's really, really deep. So there's no way to get equipment down here. So I'm going to have to mine this out by hand for now. But it makes me wonder, you know, could we find maybe a hillside somewhere and dig in, you know, horizontally and find this? I think we probably can, but I'll have to do some looking. So it looks like you have to find a coal seam, and then you have to find one that, you know, underneath has other stuff. But this is a ginormous coal seam. I mean, it is huge. So anyway, I'm going to get some iron ore mined up while I'm down here. And then we're going to go up. We're going to reconfigure the plant just a little bit. I want to start capturing the coal because we can make steel. We can make, you know, pieces out of that steel with the right machinery, which will sell for a lot of money. So I want to start capturing the coal, and then I want to get the equipment in that will let us process this the blasted stone from the other hole, and then eventually turn that into concrete, which we can make blocks out of, which will be handy for building the plant and the mines and stuff. I want to whack the ground here for a little bit. Catch you on the flip side. All right, back up at the surface. One thing I noticed, and that's pretty important, is these smelters things will pull from your inventory now. So if you're not meaning to do that, it can kind of throw you for a loop. So you can see I've got iron ore over here. If I just, it'll pull right out of your inventory. So it's harder to divide stuff up now. You actually have to do the numbers if you want to split your iron between smelters. So something to be aware of. So we can just copper over here. Get that processing. Alright, let's get this reconfigured a little bit. I'm going to move this stuff back down. That's done running through, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. You see the sun's going down. These are still pumping out 500 kilowatts. I think they're going to just work magically. So, no logic to it. It's fine. I'm going to get these going as well. So, diamond. So it's handy in a way. You can just pull right out of your... Just something to be aware of. And we got some silicon. Alright, we'll let that stuff all process away. So I have some things bought. We've got a coal screen. Got some storage. Let's see if we can get this reconfigured. So basically the dirt and the pay dirt goes out. And then I've just been selling the coal, but I no longer want to do that. Take this stuff all off and we'll reconfigure it. I think we need a right hand, or I might move all of that stuff. Okay, so we need the coal stream. So the trommel, dirt and pay dirt goes out the back. Everything else goes this way. I need to bring this up because the coal screen is a little bit long. I thought I had some 2... Yeah, here it is. Straight 2x. Need a straight on there. Full screen on there. Then the coal screen... I don't remember how that works, actually. Let's go to factory. So coal comes out the same as the input, and then everything else gets passed through. Okay. Coal comes out on the back end. That's where I had my right hand coming out. That will go into a storage. Now we're gonna have to reconfigure this stuff over here. Unless, should I turn that? could maybe turn that and do it a different way. I need some more pieces, though. So what if I did a right hand here? And then had the coal screen. Wrong button. There. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move all of this, so let me just get all this picked up. We have to move all of this to somewhere else. Whee! I jump champion. I guess we don't have a right angle merger, do we? Maybe this won't work. Yeah, the merger comes in from the sides. I need more things. Let me get the wood blocks out of the way for now. So we got some straights. So let's do a straight and then a right. And then a coal screen. This happens. You get stuck in this stuff a lot. There we go. Okay, and then the coal comes out the back. So we could do a right hand. That's not right hand. Oh, am I out of right hands? Yeah, I'm out of right hands. Let's go to conveyors. A right 2x. There we go. You can come out and you'll go into storage. Okay, so that gets our coal out, and then we have... Oh, wrong button again. I'm good at hitting the wrong buttons. Then we can have this come off of here. Oh, this doesn't quite line up, does it? We need to be like one more over. So we'll need another right hand. We're close. I just wasn't counting the blocks correctly. We have to come over, I think, one more on that. Alright, the right hand comes into that. Then the full screen. Hook into that. Another right hand there. Need our straight 1x there. And then our right hand there. I don't like having plants sticking up through everything, so we're going to get rid of some of this. Also, go ahead and turn that on. It's a little bright. Tool. There we go. Oh, it's cleared out. Put the ground a little bit, and then we got our storage on there. All right, so that captures our coal. So everything comes out of the trommel, goes into the coal screen. The coal comes out the back into storage. Everything else comes through over here. And then, so it should just be, yeah, everything except pay dirt. If we're getting any ore, is there a way to capture ore? Let's take a look at production. The shaker screen, no, that just gets rid of. Actually, I probably should have done a shaker screen instead of a coal screen. Oh well. So the froth floater, that's the gravel. That would get the ores out. I don't know if I need to capture the ore. So in theory, all the ores just coming out of the pay dirt. But if I want to do the gravel... Alright, let me reconfigure this. I don't want to waste the whole video me trying to figure this stuff out. I do want to get the gravel processed. So let me do some reconfiguring, and I'll be back. Well, folks, that took some doing. I got a plant built. The problem is I don't have enough power now to run it, so I've got to dig some coal and sell that so I can get one more 500 kilowatt solar. Then we'll be able to run this monstrosity. I went back and forth with a lot of different designs. What I finally settled on is a variation of the compact plant from Split in 2 Gaming. So if you go check out Split in 2 Gaming, all spelled out, he has a production tutorial. We are missing, he was using a down 2x2, which we don't have. So that's different. I think he had a pre-release build or something. So. But I didn't end up needing that piece anyway because I did the output a little differently. But he's got a really nice compact setup that'll basically process anything in the game. So I'm going to dig some coal. I need about 32,500, I think, for the solar thing, and then we can get this thing running. Oops, I don't really need to hit the brake, I guess. But what you can do is you just dump in the hopper and take from the hopper, basically. So if you hit here and then you say return, it'll pop everything up in the inventory. I can say, oh, I want to sell the dirt and the coal. Put it back in there. It's a way to pop that in and out of inventory. So if we go sell. Alright, let me run a little more material. Do some night running. Next episode, I'll make sure it's daytime. The lighting is pretty good in the game, so I kind of wanted to show that off a little bit. Some of this nice yummy coal down in here. And this is just the stock lights that are on the loader. I haven't added any lights. You can buy lights and add them to the vehicles, at least you used to be able to. So we'll run a little more material and then get this plant going, and I'll show what I got going on. The coal seam is going deeper. If this bucket is bugged or if it's a feature, but it will pretty consistently hold the overload. It's nice. Get one more big scoop with some coal in it, and I think we'll have enough. Just enough to buy a solar power that apparently works at night. I'm sure that'll get changed eventually. I want to run fuel, but I don't really want to buy the fuel. Yes, we can. Probably switch to fuel at some point. I was looking forward to refining the oil, but as far as I know, that's not in the game yet. Alright, get all that dumped in. Let's see what we got. Material-wise. Do we have enough? So, coal and dirt. Alright, so purchase power, and we want one more of the 500. It's about 1,200 or so kilowatts. So if I add one more to this, and I do have a power cable. Fuel. Got some power cables. So I'll just add to my little solar farm out here. Oops, I keep hitting T instead of R. And can we put another power on our pole here? Actually, what is... Oh, that, okay, so the pole will handle 1,400. So if we add anything else, we're going to explode our pole. I think it just goes off the load, not necessarily the supply. Let's see, I probably have to turn this guy on. Is the pole going to explode? Yep. I think it will. I think since we're under the 1400, I think we're going to be okay. Yay, it's working. Okay. So like I said, this is a little bit of a variation on split in twos setup. I think I'm not sure about this. I may have to power this hopper separately. Because it's not snapped to that. Although, what if I did that? Is it like Space Engineers? Or if they're touching, it's considered powered? Sure, I don't see anything dropping out, though. That could be a problem. It's fine. I guess it ran through that already? Okay, well I might have to add another power input over there. With the cable, and then that might push us over the max. We have to be careful of our... I don't see anything popping out. I didn't notice anything sell, but maybe I did. So what's supposed to happen? May have hooked something up wrong. So the trommel is supposed to sort out the dirt and pay dirt, which goes over to the sluice, which then gets sold. This coal shaker separates out the coal and puts it in that bin. So do we have coal in the bin? Don't. Something, I've set up something wrong. Yeah, we did get dirt and pay dirt in here. I wonder, did I set up... You feeding into the trommel? It's like it didn't feed past the trommel? What's going on here? You tell. You have a little bit of coal here. Let me go put this in here. See if it ends up in the coal storage. Coal, consume. And passes that on through. Oh, okay. So yeah, it went down here to... It is going into the hopper, but the hopper is not powered. Okay, so it doesn't power through the grid like that. So what I'll have to do is get another power input. So we got 10 kilowatts, 26. I think we'll be okay. If I just buy another 1x power input. So power input 1 speed. Should be fine. Slap this on here. Then hopefully we don't explode everything. I don't know how many cables you can put on a pylon. We'll find out. Alright, what's our load now? Still just 1241. I didn't turn. 1340. Okay, so we're just under the 1400 of the pole. Doesn't look like that's going through. Why would that be? Stuff is not getting powered. That's turned on. Okay. Does it matter, like, where this is? I thought you could just put it anywhere. Have to be on the end? So that's not even facing it. Yeah, I don't think that's working. We tried over on this side. Alright, let me figure this out and I'll be back. Okay, got it. So it has to be like pointing towards the conveyor, I guess. So if I put it over here, it works fine. Which means the cable is shrunk through there, but I'll fix that. So it's more aesthetically pleasing. But I should have got some blasted rock sorted through, but... And I'm going to probably build some catwalks and stuff here eventually. If we even leave the plant here, we may end up moving, but... Now we end up with coal over here. So we can grab that, and then we can grab our stuff out of our sluice box. And then in this storage, we have nothing, which is kind of expected. Also, I need to get stuff in here so it's not just floating. And then we get all of our ores over here in our ore storage, and then everything else goes through to the sell point. And I think that worked. My coal down there with the iron. We got all kinds of stuff out of the gravel, so that's cool. We ended up with lithium and aluminum. That's nice. Alright, we'll get this stuff processing, and I think that'll be it for this episode. Learned a lot. Throw some iron in there. I need to get more smelters. I need to get more money going. Better gold processing. How much were the smelters? Let's see, that was actually workbenches, right? For smelter. 15 grand. Not too bad. But somewhere I should have ended up with gravel. Did I end up selling the gravel? I didn't mean to sell the gravel. So that's a problem. So the cone crusher puts out gravel, and then the froth floater. Oh, it consumes the gravel. Oh. I want to turn the gravel into concrete. So maybe I need to skip the froth floater. For now. And just, yeah, just do that. Because I think it's turning that into what's called tailings. Interesting. Okay, well, I don't know that I really want to dig all that stone by hand anyway. Make concrete, because that would be a little bit unsustainable. So I think I'll leave it like this for now. And any rock that I end up hand mining, I'll just capture the ores from. At some point, though, I would like to find a way we can tunnel in and mass produce stone so we can make concrete. But that'll be for the future. So, big old plant. Sun is going down. I'm going to do some more digging and running stuff through the plant and making money. I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks as always for watching, folks, and take care.